everyone, welcome back to the CIO podcast. Today we are tackling a topic that is transforming the way healthcare is delivered: connected healthcare. Imagine a future where patients are empowered with real time data, hospitals seamlessly sharing information, and care extends beyond the physical walls of a facility. Now, this is the promise of connected healthcare, and it is rapidly gaining traction in India as well. Leading the charge in this digital revolution are IT professionals like our guest today, Shweta Bhatnagar. With over 18 years of experience, Ms. Bhatnagar has a proven track record of driving digital transformation across healthcare institutions like Jahangir Hospital and MIT World Peace University. She currently serves as the head IT for the Faculty of Medicine and Health Sciences at Symbiosis International University, spearheading their digital transition. Now, Shweta's unique background combines deep technical expertise with a degree in healthcare services from IIM Ahmedabad, and this blend of technical prowess and healthcare understanding positions her perfectly to discuss the challenges and opportunities of connected care in the Indian context. So let's dive in and hear from Shweta about how digital strategies can help hospitals achieve connected care model. Welcome to DHN, Shweta. Thank you so much for joining in.
Hi, Aarti. Thanks much. And thanks for giving a power-packed introduction. I feel I'm still not worthy for the same, and there's a yet to learn and yet to contribute to the ever-changing healthcare IT in the India. And thanks for having me on to this DHN forum. It feels lovely. I'll talking to you and share my insights from the limited experience which I have. Okay. So to begin with, as you rightly touched upon the concept of the connected care in the healthcare IT and how the healthcare providers can leverage it and can benefit from it. So first of all, let's understand the concept of the connected care. So connected care, in my opinion, it means that the seamless inflow of the patient in information across a healthcare ecosystem into a seamless manner, wherein in the back end we have more than one integrated systems which talk and continue to push and pull data behind the scenes. The patient perceives a seamless inflow and outflow of his or her medical records. So, to add on to the concept of the connected care, interoperability and the standardization of the formats or the framework in which we capture the patient's information becomes, paramount.
Absolutely. Connected to that, my question is, you just explained to us about what are the components and what does it mean by connected care. What are the best practices when a hospital starts into or thinking about starting into a connected care model?
Okay. So firstly, first and foremost questions which comes to any healthcare provider in India comes into their mind: are we digitization ready? Okay, first foremost question is that. Okay, where it comes that up to what extent, up to what percentage of the patient's medical records or to the patient's medical information can be digitized, or it is digitizable to that extent wherein patient has no objection. The data is getting captured in a very, very secure and secured manner and compliances to all the norms of the patient data privacy, and also in the back end to how to achieve the operational efficiency, thereby increasing the time which a healthcare practitioner or the healthcare organization attributes to the patient care. So we cannot say that in the pursuit of digitization of the patient's medical history or to implement connected records, we should complicate the technology. Nevertheless, the new technology should aid to the existing workflow which a healthcare provider offers. And this is driven by the very a hybrid of the local and the global factors, like the healthcare providers and the patient's demographical location, transports and other means to reach to that particular healthcare facility, mindset of the patient, and various global and the government regulations, we have to comply to that, and the sensitivity to store the patient's health information. So these are the, you can say, several buckets, few of the buckets wherein we need to think before we plan of entering into the connected care concept with respect to the patient care services.
Absolutely. Shweta, one of the points that you mentioned is the geographical hurdle. Say, for example, a patient is sitting somewhere else, your hospital is in Pune, a patient cannot travel, or maybe it takes a lot of time to reach to the hospital. Why can't the hospital reach to the patient? That is what the entire understanding of connected care model is. So
Yes.
when we talk about connected care, what are the tools, digital tools, can the hospitals use to achieve this, to reach to the patient where he is?
Yeah. So connected care has been metamorphosized over the last decade, and especially, when the time of COVID had hit India. So lot of transformation in the healthcare IT or the IT concepts have emerged. And as you rightly said, yes, if the patient cannot reach to the hospital, why not the vice versa? Okay, so to address that, the concept of the telemedicine and the satellite clinics have really gained up the momentum since the time of COVID has hit up. So I would say COVID was the time of, I would rightly coin it as opportunity in the calamity. Okay, we were not COVID ready, and the time of the COVID has taught how to do things remotely when we are not in reach. So various telemedicine platforms and the remote monitoring tools wherein we can have a track of the healthcare information from the patients. So that comes into the picture. The concept of the telemedicine allows any hospital or healthcare provider or organization to be in the virtual touch with the patient for any of his needs, be it the emergency consultation, be it a follow-up consultation, or be it the second opinion where he wants to reassure himself about the care which is being taking from a particular healthcare institute. So he can take an informed decision after discussing one or two consultants or one or two specialities from various institutes which are offering and which are you can say soldering very strongly towards the telemedicine platform. One such is that. Another concept came and arise with time is the various collaboration platforms, and it led to the effective communication between the patient and his healthcare giver. So I would cite a few examples that the consultation confirmation to the patient in terms of the WhatsApp text or to the SMS text. Okay, so now your consultation is fixed at so and so particular time with so and so consultant. So that particular patient needs not to worry about the travel time or to think about the traffic chaos in India. How do I do? And he doesn't have to worry about carrying the entire bunch of his medical records. Right now, telemedicine platforms have evolved seamlessly and evolved very nicely in terms of patient can upload their existing reports into the telemedicine platform. He or she can pick up a convenient time of the appointment with the consultant. Also, when consultant is not in a position to touch the foot onto the hospital floor of he or she is traveling, he can still remain in touch with his or her existing patient. So that adds to the connect and adds confidence to their relationship. So the component of the trust comes into picture when the patient and the care giver, they communicate on the various virtual platforms. Also, when the patient is being informed about all the initiatives taken up by a healthcare institution, like we are coming up with different camps, we are coming up with so and so month, we are celebrating so and so week, like diabetes week or the hypertension or the heart care week. So the patient preps up their mind, okay, fine, let me go and explore what all offers and what all treatments are being offered in that particular camp. So now with the advent of the telemedicine and various collaboration platform, patient can very well take an informed decision. I would say a right decision for his or her health. That okay, it gives a chance for him to plan the proactive care rather than the reactive care.
Right, absolutely. Shweta, you mentioned about telemedicine platforms. Now, Symbiosis University, Symbiosis Hospital started in 2019, if I'm not wrong, is a 900-bed strong hospital in Pune. It's a new age hospital. We have seen legacy hospitals. They are still struggling with catching up to the digital trends. But new age hospitals can start the digital transformation journey from the get-go. They have that liberty to do that. In case of Symbiosis University, what are the telemedicine strategies that you have deployed, or strategies for connected care?
Okay. So as far as the telemedicine concept in Symbiosis Hospital is concerned, yes, it is very efficiently and effectively running. I would like to know, to quote the name of the telemedicine platform, which is, being run and being recommended by the government of India, which is the CHARM portal, CHARM CHARM portal. It is very much integrated with our patient website, our official website. So patients can conveniently schedule their, appointments, and the consultant can get a heads up for the same. So all the diagnostic visits and the OPD visits we are capturing into our own organization, and that ensures that we have a consistent footfall of the patients, and we do not compromise onto the loyalty factor when the concept of the patient care comes into picture. And also, as you rightly said, Symbiosis Hospital is a new age hospital. I would rather mention its strength. First of all, it is located into a very beautiful and a scenic campus in the city of Lovelake, wherein and Symbiosis International University itself is a health promoting university. So we strongly believe in, proactive health measures rather than the reactive health measures. So all the you can say the treatment plans and the care plans are revolving around to that. Okay. And we have the blend of the consultants who are who are extracted right from the fresh batches, who have their fresh mindset, and they have a completely different perspective about the patient healthcare, and the blend of the veterans also. On the basis of their name itself is more than sufficient for a patient to come and seek the medical advice in the Symbiosis Hospital. And so this is the mix and the hybrid which we are following at Symbiosis. We have recently went live with our new hospital ERP, which also has the option and the provision for the telemedicine services to our registered patients.
Absolutely. That sounds wonderful. But one question that comes when we talk about telemedicine is when people are consulting doctors through portals or telemedicine portals, for doctors to understand the vitals of the patient, or say, for example, some of the key metrics of their health, it is very important to have a remote patient monitoring devices.
Yeah.
What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so many of the, I would say, okay, I would like to answer your question in a different way. Implementing or thinking about picking up the standalone telemedicine is no more a norm in the healthcare IT right now. People are switching towards, towards the new age ERPs. I would rather say the new age in the concept of the healthcare IT. We typically say it HMIS. So integrated HMIS, which have an inbuilt feature of the telemedicine, whereas wherein the as you rightly said that, okay, remote monitoring agents. So right now, HMISs are coming with such features which have the option of remotely monitoring the patient's vital. Like recently, we have started with our one of the camp. It is a remote patient vital monitoring kit we have. We did the demos and we tried to explore up to what extent it goes. So there is a device which is integrated in the back end with our hospital ERP, and it takes the real-time vital of that particular patient. Suppose a healthcare checkup a person is, entering into a society with a camp, and the patient comes, so he or she needs not to tell him that what has been his, blood pressure reading, what has been his RBS, which is random blood sugar. So we have a kit nowadays, okay, which works onto the concept of the sensors, and which takes the real time, temperature and all, like SpO2 level, the temperature also, and the BP also, and his heartbeat also to that extent. So, and it can feed the data through the Bluetooth into the mobile device also, and it can also push the data through an APIs or the plugin to the HMIS also. So that concept we have adopted, and it is being slowly, you can say, adapted and being running in Symbiosis Hospital as of now.
Absolutely. And this information is also visible to the patient, or it is only for the backend?
Yes, it is to an extent the vitals and we need to very intelligently bifurcate the information with respect to the patient medical history in such a manner that it remains exposed to the patient, but it should also have the authorized access. So no unauthorized access should be, acting as a villain or a deterrent to storing the patient data. So all the appropriate measures and the security protocols have come into picture. The IT team or the backend team is expected to evaluate the necessary, cybersec protocols or the patient data privacy protocols, so that the patient data does not get exposed unintentionally.
Absolutely. And nowadays, with the cyber attacks increasing on healthcare organization, patient data being compromised with the cyber attack, ransomware attacks, not only globally but in India, and reported incidents are very few. Those that go unreported can be massive. In such a scenario, when you say connected care, which often involves securely transmitting data or sharing of data between two systems, how much role does interoperability and data standardization, please?
Yeah. So, we to ensure that the concept of interoperability and the standardization of the data comes into full swing and a full-fledged play, we need to have the support from the government of India and the regulatory bodies in terms of, various compatible platforms and the technology frameworks also, and the changes in the regulation also, which can contribute to training the patients, or you can say making the patients aware of pros and cons and the harms and the plus points for sharing that data, because the unawareness is a very, very big deterrent, wherein a patient feels, oh my god, if my vitals get exposed, if XYZ value of my diagnostic test exposed and someone else comes to know, it is a hampering or a privacy data breach which happens. So the right blend of the security controls, the right blend of the data encryption policies, and having the optimum, I would lay stress upon the privileging and the credential and the credentialing of the data storing platforms is very, very essential to take the leap steps in terms of the connected care at India.
Absolutely. Shweta, one more point that I want to touch upon is, like you rightly mentioned, COVID sort of acted as an opportunity and calamity for healthcare systems to take a leap into the digital transformation. But even today, India and Indian hospitals love papers. That leap into the digital transformation also means, even if the hospital is willing, even if the management is willing, you have to deal with nurses, you have to deal with physicians who are still very used to the paper system. Yeah. How does that change management happen? And as an IT professional, what are the hurdles that you face in convincing people or making sure that they understand this technology?
Okay. So as an healthcare IT professional, my open message to all the healthcare IT fraternity and, the entire ecosystem of healthcare givers in India would be, please do not plan in a jiffy your journey from being papered to paperless. let us adopt an practice or an approach from going to paper light and then to paperless. As you rightly said, that the governmentary regulations and various other factors which are governing India, we cannot just think of any changes overnight, that okay, let's completely digitize that record and just let it go from offline to online mode, because there is a very numerous factors. There are so many factors which are involved in going from paper to paperless. So paper light is an midway and a balanced approach, wherein we can say that okay, let us digitize the patient records, let us digitize the patient file and scanning them and storing online, which adds to increasing of the operational efficiency, reducing the errors of the paper loss, and ensuring the easy retrieval of their documents by the patients and their respective caregivers. Whereas on one side, we should also insist and try not to superimpose the technology wherein comes to getting the surgery done, or maybe over educating a patient in terms of saying okay, you will get this automated. So in healthcare is a very, very sensitive and dynamic and ever changing industry, wherein the patient care needs are the only and only focus. Okay, and the continuum of care should revolve around the patient needs. There is no other mantra of success, apart from ensuring the continuum of care should revolve around the patient needs. And also, your technology should not complexify, it should simplify the patient care of needs. It should not compromise with the empathy factor which a consultant gives to the patient if he or she is in a pain. Okay, so that kind of segregation, that kinds of intelligence is very much expected from the IT and the healthcare givers or organization to choose the technology based on their needs. We have so many blends of technology available across the globe and in the India. So choose what you need, pick what you need, and implement only which simplifies your process, which integrates your process and workflow. Suppose if a patient enters into the hospital, GPS based map into his smartphone indicating that okay, he has to take right and then walk 50 steps and he will enter into the radiology for his diagnostic visit, will definitely add a wow factor to him. Whereas if we say okay, now the consultant is not there and you will be assessed or you will be consulted by a human robo, that will obviously raise some distress into his mind, that why I have paid for a inhuman or a personal consultant, why I am being assessed by a robo? Because a robo can make the readings here and there if that particular thing is not programmed correctly. But if it is adding to the information bucket of the patient, which is making him more aware, which is empowering him, which is adding to the trust into that particular healthcare provider or a healthcare practitioner, it is going to add, positive things to the concept of the connected care.
Absolutely. And the one thing that you mentioned with the robo, actually my next question is about that. When we include so much of technology in healthcare, the one thing that healthcare is basically based on is the connect between the doctor and the patient, the in-person connect, the trust that they feel with the human to human interaction. When there is so much technology is involved, telemedicine, remote patient monitoring, which means that doctors are now remote, the nurses are now remote. In that scenario, how do we ensure that we don't compromise on that trust, don't compromise on that human-to-human connect with the patients?
Yeah. So my answer will be making the right use of the technology. Use technology rightly for your predictive analysis, your AI. Okay, I'm identifying the trends in the patient complaints, identifying the trends in the pharmaceuticals, and identifying the trends from where your patients are coming up, their dwelling places, and what kind of treatment and what kind of psychology they are bearing. That is a foremost step. okay, wherein we should optimally think about that, okay, how to make the right use of technology. Also to have the remotely monitoring devices which help in setting the alerts or the thresholds with respect to their outdoor and indoor patients. Okay, that also lays a very beautiful connect as far as the connected care between a patient and the consultant is there. Suppose patients in the ICU are there, so various remote monitoring solutions and the platforms are available, wherein we can set in the threshold value of the patient like parameter, and if a consultant is not available in person, that he or she can get the alerts onto his doctor's app, okay, saying that this particular parameter or the vital of that particular ICU patient is fluctuating, he or she needs an immediate care or attention. So these are the scopes wherein the connected care bridge up the gap between the consultant and the patient. So if a consultant is not there physically, and still he or she gets to know about his real time condition of the patient, he or she can raise an alarm, say, okay, increase the medicine dose by so and so, decrease the medicine dose by so and so. So if a patient is given the feel that yes, his care is in safe hands, he is being offered the right treatment or the best possible correct treatment given the particular time stamp, is definitely going to add to the assurance factors in the patient's mind and heart.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you so much, Shweta, for this conversation. I think I learned a lot from this conversation as well when you rightly mentioned some of the points. If I have to mention the way COVID actually helped us into taking that digital transformation leap, and the way we should not rush into being from paper-based to directly paperless. Rather, we should go with the approach of going paper-light first. I think those are some of the takeaways for me personally from this conversation, and I hope our audience will also have some interesting takeaways from this. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much. Thanks to one and all. Thanks, Aarti, for your time. Lovely having me. Thank you so much. Have a great day ahead.